Good morning and welcome to the Handicapping First Look Seminar. Gentlemen, we've had a terrific weekend of racing already. Yesterday, of course, we had the Corgi races. I don't know if you guys caught the finals, but the closest final ever. I think the dog in the lead actually thought he had the lead and kind of eased up and literally got beat a lip right at the nose. It was a tough beat if you had that dog in the final, Skip.
That's who I bet. I bet the 4. He stumbled midway through stretch. When he switched leads, he stumbled a little bit. Then he thought, he misjudged the wire. He should have won, but he misjudged the wire.
The one got up by a nostril. Gino, I think you were all over the one.
I was a little frustrated at the training job there, to be honest. This horse was a little short. The dog was a little short.
How can you be short in a grade 1? I don't get it.
How could you be short on a big race like that? I feel like they were primed for that one, but of course, I got the dog that comes up a little bit short. So that's
and then
doesn't matter what breed.
Hey, congrats to the winner, even though we all got beat by a nose there. And then, of course, last night, the Folds of Honor, we raised a ton of money for such a great cause. We had a blast. Skip, I apologize for knocking you out when you went all in. But we had a couple ringers in there that guy with the big stack took me down late. But he ended up getting beat head to head. But what a night it was, Skipper.
Oh, Chappie, it was such a great night. You guys really put on a really good thing. It was for such a great cause, and I'm glad they made a lot of money. It was a lot of fun. Everybody was having fun, having a few drinks and laughing and joking. And I was doing very good at poker till you came to our table. Then you just took me down. Thanks a lot, buddy.
The cooler right there. It's Chappie.
It's funny, real quick, and then we'll get to it. So I was at a different table, and our man Leo, he was getting tired. So he was playing a little loose. So I kept calling him because I knew he was playing loose. And he kept beating me. He kept pulling cards. And so luckily I switched tables and I got hot. So I knocked 3 player. I was the silent assassin for a minute until that guy with the giant stack came over and he bullied everybody around. So anyways,
we were having such a good time at our table. Everybody was cheering and laughing and joking. And then here comes Chappie.
And just the mood changes. Out. And then the mood just changes, right?
Oh, I was loving every minute of it. We had the Hebrew Hammer as our dealer. Who listens to the Morning Line sports show every week. So it was terrific. But the best thing is we raised a bunch of money and it's a great weekend all around. And today it finishes up with the pick 6, guys, starting race 5, terrific card. The pool mandatory payout should reach, they think, around $5 million. So let's get it rolling. What do you think?
Let's do it. But first, I want to just say Happy Memorial Day, and thank you to all the people, the servicemen and women who have lost their lives and are still currently employed in, it means a lot. And it's such a special holiday. So happy Memorial Day, and we will never forget.
Absolutely. Well said. Well spoken there, buddy. All right, let's make some money, gentlemen. So we start in race 5, which is the first leg of the pick 6. And, Skipper, when you look at it, originally Smooth Light Straight is 4 to 5 on the morning line. Pratt comes in to ride. Interesting thing I wanted to get your take on and what you thought here. Phil D'Amato has 2 horses in here. Does he send Master of Foxhounds to keep Smooth Like Straight honest to set it up for Count Again? Or is Smooth Like Straight a single here, buddy?
No, I think the one's going to go. From the rail, he's got the 2 horses. The horse is training good. He's drawn on the inside. I think JJ Hernandez has no other option but to go. You can't give Smooth Like Straight an easy lead. And that makes me love the 2, Count Again. I love this horse. This is my best bet all day. That last race in the Maker's Mark Mile at Keeneland, Rosario didn't give it the best of rides. He kind of was back a little too far, then coming for home. He kind of was weaving inside traffic, and this horse finished very strongly and galloped out well. I think Count Again gets a great trip in here and mows him down at the wire. Smooth Like Straight, is probably the fastest horse in the race, and Pratt's on it. It's training good. Michael McCarthy, my buddy, does a great job. This horse just always seems to run the same race. He goes to the front and he battles and he fights and he loses by a nose, by a neck, by a head. it's tough for me to play those horses. And I know they're all grade 1, grade 2, tough races. But I love the turn of foot that Count Again has. I know it's 7 years old, but this horse is just acting like he's 4 years old. And he finished strong, and he's got that great kick. He likes Santa Anita. Get him. And like I say, I'm going to single it on my pick 5, my pick 6, and I'm betting this horse to win. I love Count Again today.
Gino, your thoughts?
I can't get really too outside the box here. I'll probably just use combinations of those 3 horses, 1, 2, and 5, just because if for some reason Smooth Like Straight does go and get loose, he could be tough to run down if Master of Hounds does back off a little bit. If Master of Hounds sits second, he still might be able to sit a really nice trip. He's going to go third, start off the long layoff. He might be set for his absolute best. He ran into a horse who was loose on the lead last time out in Beyond Brilliant. He was just a little bit short on March the 25th. That was his first start off the bench. He was kind of fresh, and he showed speed, and he faded that day. Look at who he ran into prior to that: Domestic Spending, Gufo, Tribhuvan, United, who I think has just recently been retired. So I think it's a good spot for Master of X Hounds to sit, save ground. I'll just use the 1, 2, and 5.
2 things here real quick before we move on. A shout out to the owner of Master Foxhounds, Gary Hartooni of Rockingham Ranch. Was not only a big win last night in the finale, but very entertaining in the poker tournament last night. So we had a great time with him. And interesting thing on Count Again, guys. Skip, you mentioned the comment or Rosario on the ride last time. Yesterday, Phil D'Amato was on Thoroughbred Los Angeles with Mike Willman. He was none too happy with the ride last time of Rosario. Phil D'Amato does not talk very often like that, and he made it very clear that he was very unhappy of the ride. And we've all been a Count Again fan, and we love those horses with that big turn of foot. So interesting first leg. All right, let's move on to the second leg. This is a state-bred maiden 50 going 6 panels. Gino, interesting race here. Field of 9 and some lightly raced horses. What are you thinking here?
This is where my whole entire pick 6 ticket will depend. Everything comes down to one horse in this race for me, and that's Miss Bailey. That's going to be my single in here. I'm going to build my entire pick 6 ticket around the number 6, Miss Bailey. If you go through her 4-race career, so she debuts back in June of 2020. She's second in a 2-year-old race behind a horse named My Girl Red, who came out of that race to win the Grade 2 Sorrento next out. So she hooked a really nice horse in her debut. And then she was gone from June of 2020 to January of 2021. She shows back up. She's like a little bit wide in her debut, in her return to the races, and it was on the turf. So it's pretty easy to eliminate that race. And then in her second start back, she's sent to the bench again for over a year. We can look at those races and be really forgiving about them because she had some issues. She was long layoff lines, and those races were all against maiden special weights. The debut was against open maiden special weights. Second and third race were against Calbred maiden special weights. So she returned off of a layoff from March of 21 to May of 2022. And she dropped in class, and she was in against maiden 50 claimers for the first time. And that was actually before, on March the 7th, getting caught in between horses. So she even has like multiple excuses for running poorly in some of those starts. She showed really nice speed on May the 8th. She was actually like right on top, and she was part of like a 4-way battle, and she was too deep. She got caught in a tight spot. She had to take up, she had to back out, and she came on again to challenge. She loomed up at the top of the stretch with dead aim. She looked like she was a winner, and then she just got a little bit tired because she has not run in 14 months. I think she's going to take a huge step forward off of that. Second start off the long layoff. She's going to be a lot fitter. Honestly, she's the fastest in this field. I hope they just put her right on the front end. I think the only horse that can maybe push her a little bit is the rail horse. And if she breaks and crosses over, she could be really tough in here. I'm going to single Miss Bailey, and that'll give me an opportunity to, really use a lot of others in the late pick 4 sequence after this. So I'll probably just go 1, 2, 5 to start, single to 6. And then I've got lots of opportunities afterwards. I don't love anybody else in this race either. I like her, and I don't really like anybody else. And so for me, that's the reason why I'm all in on this one.
Yeah, Warren's Queen Bee is the 8-5 morning line favorite. Has tried, this level 3 times in a row, and clearly is always right there. I don't know about you, Skip. I did watch the Miss Bailey replay. Of the replays, that was clearly the most impressive. Exactly what Gino said. Got tight, was in between horses, has some speed. I put live under and with a little underneath exclamation point there. Watching the replays of some of the others, some of them have some speed and all kind of stopped, had no punch in the lane. I didn't love many of the workouts on, I thought maybe the 7 had a little speed, and the 9, being a 3-year-old, but showed some speed with an outside post. But nobody else really impressed me much, Skip. Anybody else catch your eye in here?
Nobody. I like what Gino said about the 6, and that was a decent replay. The thing that makes me worried about that is the 7. Ellingwood's on the 7. The horse bobbled at the start. I think this horse is going to put pressure on the 6, and that's what scares me. I'm going all in this race because I don't like the 3. The 3 runs the same race every time. I think the 2 is sneaky. I think the horse, it was off slow. It hit the gate. It never really ran after that, like a horse that needed the race. But I like the jock switch there. And I'm telling you, a little sneaky one is the 4. I think the 4's got a little shot. That horse didn't want turf first time. Now it goes to dirt, which I think it will like more. I think that horse is sneaky. I don't have a strong opinion, but I like a couple long shots, so I'm hitting the all button in there.
All right, so all but talking about we all see things differently, right? And that's why we talk
Single
about
all.
it. This is
Right.
single, and Skipper's hitting the all button. So and I'm all over the board. I'm not impressed with too many, so I'll probably try to get away with 3 or 4 in here. And Miss Bailey was my top pick as well, but not the best of races. All right, let's move on. Let's go to race 7. Race 7 is an interesting race. It's a maiden 100, so kind of the maiden special weight race.
You know where I'm going here?
Yeah, I do already.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
So we know where Gino's going with Night at the Roxbury there.
I don't know.
I was going to try to get away with Too Deep, and I might have to go back now and look at Gino, of course, because Gino was talking about the one Phil D'Amato, who's always terrific.
Him, me, you, him, me, him. The best one ever was the one when Jim Carrey joined him. Did you guys see that one when he was doing it with them? His head was about to break off. He was just, it's going so far. Yeah. And he's like in the nursing home. He's like feeding these old people, like, and it's so funny. It's really, you got to check out the Jim Carrey with the Roxbury guys. But all joking, I do like this horse a little bit in here, Chappie. So she's a half to a stakes winner, a grade 3 place stakes winner named Giza Goddess, who's a multiple winner on the turf. And in her debut, she had a fast start. She was on top. Go back and watch the replay. She broke right on top. But 2 others inside showed speed, so they sit off a little bit. She's like 3 or 4 lengths off. Who's the winner that day? Cairo Memories, right? And we've seen how impressive that horse has become. Cairo Memories won the next start, which was a grade 3. The May 16th work, which you can watch on XBTV. Again, I don't pretend to be like a workout expert. There's a little something there, and she worked with Going to Vegas, who is the grade 1 winner, who's running later on today. I just got a feeling she's live. She's going to get Lasix for the first time today, too. I'm using her in all of my exotics. I'll probably use a couple others, but what is love, baby? Don't let the Roxbury beat you.
Well, that horse interests me. Going to Vegas worked terrific in that work. It was a 3-horse work. Roxbury worked well. We know how good Phil D'Amato is and always live. The other 2 horses that I really kind of narrowed it down to was the 2 Isola Mia, who, if you go through the running line, ran against Miss Maddie B, I Got a Gal, Sterling Crest, and Kristen Bosch, who are all good horses. I like the fact that this horse is taking the blinkers off. Horse ran a bang-up race 2 back and had some trouble. Last time chased a fast pace going 47-1. Now gets JJ Hernandez, takes that, I guess you could call it a drop from maiden special weight to maiden 100. This is kind of the group that, it's kind of a maiden special weight light, if you will. But I think this horse should sit just off the pace and be very live. And the other horse I'm looking at is the outside horse, the 8 Sunny Morning with Mike Smith. 2 back, this horse ran a monstrous race, got shuffled early, flew home, and lost by a neck. Last time out, ran okay, was less than 3-1 in the morning line. but I think this horse fits here. Umberto back in town to ride. So I was kind of 2-8 and giving a look at Gino's night at the Roxbury. Skip, did you have anybody else that caught your eye in here?
My neck hurts from just watching Gino do that. I got a strong opinion in here. I like the 4, Exit Soul. I like it an awful lot. This horse, I've tried to catch it all 3 times. First time out, it ran really good. It had trouble, off slow, bumped at the start, got in trouble on the turn, came running. Next time I bet it again. It checked hard, upper stretch. I had a pick 5 closing with it that day that was paying really nice. And it galloped out strong, galloped out real good. They gave it a little time, McCarthy did. It came back, and they put this horse on the lead. And they went quick, 22, 46, 110. This horse at the top of the stretch, you thought he just was going to, just cave in. Well, Espinosa stopped riding it a lot, kind of. And then all of a sudden, another horse came on the outside of it, and it rebroke. This horse galloped out 5 in front. I think it might have needed that race. McCarthy knows exactly what he's doing, obviously. He puts the blinkers on, which I don't know why. Maybe he's trying to get it more focused or whatever. He has a plan. But I like this horse a lot. That race was sneaky good, that last race. Go back and watch that replay if you guys haven't. I like Exit Soul an awful lot.
Interesting that of the 2 McCarthys, he takes the blinkers off one of them but puts the blinkers on the other one. So
yeah.
Right. And when he takes the blinkers off, he wins 31% of the time. And when he puts them on, he wins 4%. So I almost wish the 4 wasn't getting the blinkers on. But he obviously knows what he's doing, and I'm not going to question him. He's won the Preakness. He's won, the Pegasus World Cup and a couple Breeders' Cup races, and he does a great job. So I like it. It's a beautiful gray, filly. She's white. She looks great.
All right, so we move on to race 8. This is a maiden special weight, Skipper, and a very interesting field. There's only 6 horses in here, but I'm sure we've all looked at every race, every work, every replay. I'm going to be interested to see what you guys think in here because there's certainly no standout in here from my thoughts. So, Skip, what are you looking at here?
There's not a standout, I don't think. I think it's a very, very tough race. The 2 I have a note on, this was on my horse to watch list. That horse ran against Defunded. It had a little trouble in that race. It broke from the way outside. It's training good. Ellis is having a great meet. He's winning 36% of the time. They paid $200,000 for this horse. So obviously they have high expectations for it.
And Dream Shake, you remember the first time out, who Dream Shake freaked for
right. Peter.
Horse, well, and that particular race, if you remember, that was one of those loaded races. Remember Bezos, the battle horse that was like the real buzzy horse. He was in there. Law Professor, grade 2 winner, was also in that race. And in the Defunded race, Following C, who is the runner up there, he's a grade 2 winner. He was 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Sprint.
Yes.
He's earned like $840,000. He's 4-time grade 1 place. This horse hooked a couple monster races this first 2 times out.
Yeah,
I agree. And at 6-1, this horse will be on my ticket. You got to give the 6th outside just because of the draw. An advantage, that's a huge advantage in a race like
I'm more of a Big Mac guy myself, to be honest. I'm just kidding.
I'm more Famous Star, Carl's, but they're getting a little expensive on me.
The Whopper, maybe give me another.
No Whopper for me. In and out, baby. The double.
Dub with cheese.
So you got to give the 6 an advantage just because the post position, and it ran against Special Ride. That's a nice horse. And, I know the 5's got good works for Mandela. It's by Into Mischief, who they love winning first time out. Anaheim, I thought, worked well, the other day also. I didn't really like the 1 just because of the post position draw. I'm going to spread in there, but the 2 is going to be on all my tickets. I just 2 and 6 are on all my tickets, and I might, 1 ticket I'll go all, and the other ticket maybe I'll go 2, 4, 5, 6. But 2 and 6 are on all my tickets.
I almost have to buy this race, to be honest with you. I mean, I love watching these replays and watching the workouts. Famous Stars workout, like you said, drawn outside, has ran twice. I didn't love the last work, so
Me neither. He's
the one just because it's Pratt shows up on it. I hate a first timer on the rail, but you almost got to use Pratt.
And then you have McCarthy, who's 3 for 40 with first time starters over the last 5 years, but 2 of those came out of the last 10. So he's not been great, but he's been a lot better recently. So what do you take out of that?
And we know the reason. And
he's had a little bit better stock recently.
I was going to say a little upgrade in some of the stock a bit.
Yeah, some people
it's amazing when you get a little bit better horses, what you could do, huh?
Yeah. Some people's stats have gone a little bit higher lately because of who they've gotten in their barn. And they all power. We don't need anything bad by that. That's
not at all. That's a positive, right? You just get a little bit better to work with, and
right. You have better, yes, absolutely. Yeah. Better horse flesh makes you a better trainer. I mean,
the work I like the best on XBTV
Showtime
was Showtime.
Yeah, I did. I said I like the work the best of every horse in this field. Yeah,
who worked against Big City Lights. Now, Big City Lights is a 2-year-old, but it's 2 for 2 and won a stake by 7.5 lengths. And this horse outworked it. The only thing is, Mandela can give him a race sometimes too. So.
And Mike, the combination of them are more patient, you think of, right? You're not thinking of necessarily a combination that's going to be like, let's get them right out of the gate and fire, So that's the only concern. But gosh, it's hard to I can't really have too strong of opinion. 2, 5, and 6, I think, are the horses I like most. If I had to narrow down and just pick a couple to use, but I can't really because I'm singled. This will probably be a buy race for me, or using as many in here as I could possibly afford on my ticket. I didn't have an overwhelming enough opinion to take a big stand here.
Okay, we're going to move on to race 9, 6.5 furlongs. Of course, we all love them coming back down the hill, and it's just the best race to watch anywhere in the country. I think for me, I think you guys might agree with that. This might be my single here, gentlemen, and I'll give you a few different horses I like, but I'm looking to the outside Mood Tada for a few reasons. First of all, 2 back, this horse broke from the rail and won very nicely for Vlado. Last time out, ran second to a horse that we've all fallen in love with, who is Air Force Red, who might be on his way to the stakes ranks.
Yep.
Now this horse is drawn outside, tactical. Vladimir Serin, of course, having another terrific meet. I think this horse will be way less than 7-2, but so be it. I'm thinking of singling it. Of course, we get some shippers coming in, and first, a horse like Lansdowne, got Irad Ortiz jumping aboard. Doug O'Neill's, Phil D'Amato's got a couple in here. The sneaky one to me at a price would be the 5 Adair.
That's the horse I like. And
2 back. This horse broke from the rail, was way back, made a giant move and flew home. And then the last
behind Burning Turf and Gold Phoenix, who both the top 2 finishers both came back to win next time out. They're both like stakes quality.
Yeah, and then came out of the race also with Mutada the last time out, and it had was steadied quite often, showed much more speed, was down on the inside, and just kept pulling, tugging.
Yep,
and it just got the life pulled out of this horse. So I think
the whole time he was just in traffic. Yeah. He was like nowhere to go, and he's not a win machine by any means. But the horses like this sometimes they do play well down the hill, and his 2-back race down the hill was great because it's just sort of tricky. It's like that in between sort of different type course. I will not leave him out. He's the top selection for me. And go back. I think the outside horses all make sense. Like you mentioned, the 9, 7, 8, the 2 would be others that I'm looking at. But Adair is the intriguing one. He kept running into really tough spots and against good horses. Miles D untreated. We see Burning Turf and Gold Phoenix. I'm giving him at least one more shot in here, along with some others.
This was my long shot special today, the 5, and he's not a win machine, but I will tell you this. I love Bravo getting back aboard this horse. Bravo, we know what he's going to do. He's going to take hold and make one run. And that New Park is very fast, but that horse has been running on not the downhill, but the straight turf course, the chute. This is a totally different game. And I think there's other speed in here, not as quick as New Park, but I think they're going to stay close with it and maybe trying to chase. They're going to compromise themselves. Adair is going to come flying late. I don't know if it could get up, but I like this horse. I was glad that you said it because this was my long shot special today. And I'm going to bet it to win. I'm going to use it on my ticket, and I'm keying it in the tries and supers in case it doesn't get up.
Funny how all three of us watch a lot of replays, and you do the work, and that's where you come up with these 10-to-1 shots. I would be all over this horse, other than I think the 8 horse is going to be very tough as well.
I think I said 9, so I'm creating horses now because there's no 9 in here. I wrote down on my page 9 earlier when I was doing my notes. So if the 9 wins,
we're all in trouble if the 9 wins. I was going to
say, remember, I told you. Remember.
All right, so let's move on to the Grade 1 Gamely. And Gino, going global, 5 for 5 at Santa Anita. Just worked giant with Hong Kong Harry, who was supposed to run in the Grade 1 yesterday, but I believe came up with a quarter crack. Is it all going global here, or do we have some up-and-comers? There's some other interesting horses in here. Is that a single, or are you spreading here?
I'm going to use Niji Blanche also. The only thing I don't really love is the fact that Hernandez leaves, which, not a positive. But, Maldonado is capable. I think we sort of just get in our head that Maldonado can only ride speed horses and stuff. Like, he's a capable rider. He's very capable. Especially with a horse like this who probably won't be too far out of it. You dive into her form. She's faced going to Vegas a couple times. And the first 2 times she faced going to Vegas, I don't think she was quite as good as she is now. And now she's just a better horse overall. And the last time she faced going to Vegas, she actually had some legitimate trouble. And so I think today they're going to try to get her a little bit closer up. So like a little bit more in striking range. March race, she got shuffled inside. She has to angle out and close well. So I'm going to give her a little bit of an opportunity to possibly turn the tables. I just like the form that she's in right now. She's a little better going longer. So that's my only, I have a couple worries with her, but they're built into the price. She's not going to be a really short price. That's what happens when you go a little bit longer and maybe you have a jock change. I'll use her along with going global. I'm canoodling. I'm sort of talking myself into possibly. This is a filly who I've chased for a little while. She's got some ability, and she seems like she might be putting it all together. She's drawn down towards the inside. That's where Hernandez ends up. Combinations of those 3 for me, I think, to try to close it out.
So, Skipper, going global obviously could be a single and will be on many people's tickets. Nage Blanche, all 3 of us have liked that horse. Seems to be on the improve, has won, 3 out of the last 4. Yet JJ jumps over to Canoodling, who was very impressive last time, went very fast early and just kept going. England's Rose would have to step up, but at a big price. And I like the jock switch there. Last time ran with the rails out at 30 feet is interesting. And then a horse like Ocean Road, who maybe they dropped down to get a little in an allowance last time, maybe to just get a confidence booster. And Skip, you watch these races all over the country. And going to Vegas' work was very impressive work last time. So, Skip, I just named almost the entire field. What are your thoughts on some of those? I know you've watched all the workouts and replays as well.
I'm just seeing England's Rose right now is scratched. I just saw it pop up.
Oh,
so England's Rose must have just came through as a scratch. So
that's one of those horses I never want to leave out because I know,
me too.
An affinity towards, and I like Cedillo jumping aboard today. So I'm okay with that scratch. Skipper?
Oh, and just to point to, I'm seeing some come through right now. Exit Soul out. Skippy, in the 7th race. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's going to change my ticket there.
Why run 2 and 1 will do? That might have been the.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
It looks like those are the only 2. England's Rose and Exit Soul look like the only 2 right now so far in the pick 6 sequence.
Okay. I'm going to single in the Gamely. I'm singling going global. I think she's the best filly, or mare on the grass in the country, or at least one of the top 3. D'Amato gave her time, and she came back and she looked great. I mean, she won easily the time 1:33 and 4 was great. I love Pratt getting back aboard. The horse loves to win. It's won 8 out of 13. And then, you look back, the race that ran terrible was on the dirt that was scheduled for the turf, but it was rained off, the American Oaks. And then the time before that, when she got beat, was down at Del Mar in the San Clemente, and she got beat by a horse for course with Madone, with Simon Callahan. That horse loves Del Mar. So those are the only 2 losses on the paper, on the form. I think she's so good. I think she's going to even be better coming, with that race under her belt. She's come back to work great. There's not a lot of speed in this race. I'm hoping Eddie's new dream can maybe put a little pressure on Canoodling. Canoodling ran lights out last time. Like you say, she went fast early and kept going. She loves to win. She's won 8 out of 16. And I had her that day. She won the megahertz at 22-1. That was a very good day. That's the only thing that scares me. But I think going global is the best, the class of the race. And I'm singling early and I'm singling late. In between, I'm spreading. So that's how my ticket's going to go.
By the way, I'm gonna pat us all 3 on the back yesterday, even though somehow I think maybe Gino was the only one who capitalized on it. We were all against Clubhouse Ride, yet somehow I found every single way to screw that up. The only thing I know is my girlfriend, who actually listens, put $2 to win on Papa Padromo and won $28. Yet I lost every bet because somehow that's the way things happen. But Gino, I
didn't want to come on this morning. That was like the greatest call of my life. Yeah, I was getting a lot of Twitter love for that one too, which was hilarious because how often in our head you play something out and it just does not work at all the way you were thinking. When we talked it out, that was exactly to a T. We spent about 5 minutes playing out why the 2 other horses would press him. They shouldn't be the ones you play. The other 3 horses are the only ones you could play, and why the 3 would be we literally the whole process. So if that was something to put on my headstone, that was one of those ones, where it was wow, that was great. I was getting I got 30 followers on social media yesterday after tweeting that from people that were like, oh man, that was a great call. Where did that come from? So yeah, I was nervous today. I'm going to go 0 for the whole day today. So whatever I said, just rip it up and it's got no chance.
Skip, I don't know. Gino actually did well. You and I get this sometimes. To me, it was, I got people texting me, yeah, great call. You must have killed him. And I'm no, I don't answer, but I'm like, no, somehow I lost money. That, I'm brilliant.
Yeah. I didn't play the early part of the card yesterday. I loved the horse in the last race that won, the 4 horse. So I keyed everything around that one. I didn't play, but of course that I didn't play. And I always try to beat Brickyard Ride. And, we liked the 3 that we talked about. And of course, I didn't play it this time and Brickyard Ride gets beat. And we figured out, just how the race would, we hoped it would happen. And it did. And it makes you feel good. It's like, wow, I know what I'm talking about. So many times we think we got it figured out, like Gina was saying, and it doesn't pan out that way. But that race did perfectly. And what a great ride. And congratulations to George Papa Padromo. He's doing a great job and good for him. He's a good guy.
Yeah. Yep. Georgie is on fire. I went down, I bowed to him last night after the last race, and he had beat me because you beat me. I was all in a Miss Maddie B in the last, and I structured to get there. And Skipper, you were right on that one. That horse ran, just ran them right off their feet. Very impressive.
You know what Gary Artunian told Bravo in the walking rink? He said, just don't fall off.
Yeah, he did.
And I don't even think the horse wants to go to the lead, but I think they knew what they had and they just sent it to the lead just to keep it out of trouble. Yep. Yeah. That horse is a nice horse. That's a nice horse.
Yeah. Gary, if you're watching, thanks for the call. I didn't hear that one. No, you warned me, Skip. I did.
I told everybody, and that's the one that we bet on the show for Minty. We bet 100 to win on it for her. And I told everybody, they said, just give me one horse. And I said, I just love the horse in the last. I'm not touching the early part of the card. I'm going to wait till what I think is the better half of the card, which was the late. The pick 5 only paid 1,000. It didn't transpire like I was hoping it would. In a couple races, I went all and went deep, and I caught the favorite of the second choice. But it was good. It was a profitable day, and congratulations to Gary with that nice horse, and George Papadromo. He was looking sharp in that blue suit yesterday, man. He looks, yeah,
he was. But like I said, I got to the horse I wanted. We all have that in our head, horses. And I was waiting for that horse to get back to the turf, and nobody was going to be a match for that horse. So,
right.
But anyways, back to today, gentlemen. First of all, go to sananita.com. Free past performances on sananita.com.
Nice.
Very important. Everybody's got to get involved. If you ever get involved in something, it's a day like today. First of all, terrific racing.
Right.
Carnival come out. The weather's great. It's not too hot. But second of all, when you get these big pools and you get the 20-cent increment, you got to play, because that's the day where there's an overlay and you get paid more than you should.
Right.
So,
yep.
All right.
And
well, go ahead.
Can I mention something? On seminarskippix.com, the picks are free today for Memorial Day. So check it out. Everything's free. Hopefully we'll get lucky, although Exit Soul Scratch. So that was one of my horses. I didn't realize that when I put it in early this morning, but good luck to everybody. And I can't wait to go out there. I'm going to the infield. I'm taking my niece's little boys, and I can't wait to get them on the pony rides and the slides. I'm really looking forward to today.
Okay, we got about let's call it 2 minutes left. So Skip, you might have to call an audible here real quick, but just to recap for anybody who came in late, best bet of the day. Who's your single? Gino, I'll start with you. Skip, I think we'll go with you last, because you might have to re-rally here. Gino, single best bet of the day.
Yep, single is going to come in race number 6. It's the second leg of the pick 6 sequence. It's Miss Bailey. That's going to be the horse who I build everything around. I think she's just in a great spot. I don't really love the rest of the field all that much. I think they're going to put her right on the front end. Miss Bailey for me, and then maybe one or two others that are just sort of outside the box. I mentioned Roxbury, the one in race number 7. Whoa, 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 whoa. And then also we mentioned the down the hill, the 5 horse in race number 9 is one to throw in your pick 6.
Gino, thank God you don't sing for a living, but well done. I think my key is going to be in race 9, the 8 Mutada. I love the outside draw, the tactical speed, ran second to a big up-and-comer Air Force Red, with a caveat that we all think that the 5 Adair is a very sneaky long shot at 10-1 and very playable. Of course, I will do some backup ticket, probably singling going to Vegas. Going global, and using Adair as well. Skipper, your single?
My single and best bet of the day is in the 5th race, number 2, Count Again. It's 5-2. Hopefully we could get that. Hopefully people will bet Smooth Like Straight at 4-5 with Pratt on it. But I love Count Again. I'm singling there, and I'm singling going global in the last.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Everybody, best of luck. Everybody out there, have a great weekend. Like you said, Skipper, thanks to all the servicemen, and let's enjoy it, make it a profitable day. And gentlemen, I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you at the races.
Take care, guys. Happy Memorial Day. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.